Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to a 25th anniversary of Menace special edition of Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing show. Again, looking for a rebrand. Maybe I'm trying to come up with a clever saying or statement that encompasses Darth Tuba, but can maybe figure in toys or a saying or a phrase from one of the Star Wars media outlets. So any suggestions, I will give full credit to those who come up with it. Maybe even send you a prize if you do. All right, so 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace. And boy, I have a really fond memory for that. I have a fond memory of all of the licensing and the, hype that went just through the roof. I mean, we thought Force Awakens, I've said this before, anybody who's watched my channel knows Force Awakens, when that came out in 2015, that was a pretty hyped up thing. But the Phantom Menace, that was a full, 16 years in the waiting. 16 years. I mean, the next one was only 10 years, and less than that if you watch the Clone Wars. So new Star Wars content in 16 years. I mean, when we thought it wasn't ever going to happen. So I wanted to just kind of take you guys on a tour of my Phantom Menace specific collectibles. These are things that I've so far elected to keep in the collection. There's always a chance I might part with some of them. Starting with this free item. This was a bag given out to us. I think it was at Star Wars Celebration, or not Star Wars Celebration, sorry, Midnight Madness, Toys R Us, or it could have been at one of the other stores that were, the many stores that were holding big events, about 3 weeks before the movie came out. And this was kind of the stock, movie poster artwork. I believe it was Drew Struzan that did it for the, you saw this on all the movie posters, on everything, and it was, it was a good indicator. Of course, it's Qui-Gon Jinn is featured regularly and prominently, and then you have Queen Amidala there, and of course you have Anakin in the back. There's that other poster that's of Anakin, a boy up against, with the shadow up against the wall, and the shadow showing a silhouette of Vader. That was more of a teaser. This is what the official artwork was, and of course Darth Maul's eyes glaring at you from the behind. Poor Jar Jar. There he is. I like how they kind of kept him off to the side there. And of course, Obi-Wan. It's not going to be his full movie. That comes later. And of course, 3PO and R2, although you really hardly ever see them together in the movie. And the Queen's Royal Starship, which I thought was an interesting choice for it. But I do think it of all the ships that you saw in the movie, the Royal Starship had the most, even though it was sleek and cleaner, it had, with, I guess, the silver design. All the other ships, the Naboo ships, were yellow. The droid fighters were, a little small, so I think that was a good choice to do that. So that was one item. Let's see what else we got. So there was a huge, probably one of the biggest at the time promotions between PepsiCo and Star Wars, or Lucasfilm, and it was absolutely insane. Okay, and PepsiCo, as you know, or you might know, I don't know if they still do, but I believe at the time, they own not only, obviously, Pepsi products, but they had, Lay's, Frito-Lay, and, of course, the three big fast food, I wouldn't say the biggest, but the three big fast foods that they own were Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and, what's the other one? Kentucky Fried Chicken. So they all had major, events, happening. So I went crazy. They all released toys. They all released sipper cups. I bought them all. However, I have since parted with a lot of that. But I like the pizza box. So I kept both the Qui-Gon pizza box, which includes unpeeled Defeat the Dark Side and Win. You know what? Maybe we should check that now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, I think I might have. No, can't tell. You know what? I'm better off not knowing. If I won that, I'd be like... I'm better off not knowing. And I kept a smaller one of Anakin. I always liked the Anakin... with the goggles from this pod racing. Episode 1 of Menace. So there's some more items here that I do have, which I'll share, because that was a huge promotion. So this was a huge kind of three-for where these are actually, I think they're supposed to be banks. And this was based on a design. I think at first was Vader had a bank, and you would put a coin in the slot, and then he would do a little animation. And then there was a 3PO and R2. I don't remember which one of those came first, but I believe the same company did this. Now, of course, guys, this is all stored. I don't... Oh, I'm sorry. I do have it. Oh, my God.
I sense a disturbance in the force. I feel it also, Master. I have a bad feeling about this. It's the Jedi.
Oh. Every time I make noise, this guy's gonna move. Calm down, Obi-Wan. Calm down. All right. Yeah, sadly, Jar Jar doesn't move anymore. Yeah, unfortunately, Jar Jar no longer was in there. And they gave up, the same company gave up the bank part of it. It's just a dancing machine thing, which I thought was an interesting choice, unless it might be back here, I'm not sure. In addition, we have our Pepsi cans. So this was a big part of the Pepsi's version of the thing. Now, forgive me, these are in our basement, and I haven't really washed them. So I think when I'm done with this episode, I'm going to run these all under some water, dry them off, let them, because sadly, they are a little dusty. But anyway, the idea of this was when you would get a case, and I think it was a case of 12, a 12-pack of Pepsi, you could pick up one, and I mean one. So 12 Anakins, right? And then they had 8 different types, including, put this one right, they had the Emperor, R2, Chancellor Palpatine, Jabba, Watto, Qui-Gon, and Sebulba. Then you can get Mountain Dew. They also had 8, which included, can't see this one. Oh, that's right, okay. Darth Maul, Jar Jar, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, Captain Panaka, Rune Hatko, I think it is. Yeah. And Rick Oli and a Destroyer Droid. And then, in addition to that, you can get 12 packs of Pepsi 1. I don't know if Pepsi 1 exists anymore. And you can get Chancellor Valorum, C-3PO, New Gunray, and Boss Nass. Or you can get... Is this all Pepsi 1 or is this Diet Pepsi? Diet Pepsi. So you get 4 Diet Pepsis, which included Queen Amidala, Padme, Shmi Skywalker, and a Battle Droid. And you could send away for this nifty Pepsi display. Now, they had other types of Pepsi cans. They had, like, you could try to get the Chase Gold can, which I never did. But there you go. And in order to support, or not, to promote the Pepsi can frenzy, Pepsi released these really nifty, let me see if I can spread this out a little bit, really nifty hanging inflatable Pepsi cans, which I had a couple of these. I managed to get this one, and I think I got one of the Mountain Dew ones, but the Mountain Dew one broke, and I decided, you know what, one's enough. One nifty, not so popular piece was this backpack. If you watch Anakin walking away after he hugs his mom goodbye, he has this cool backpack, and they actually, one company decided to make it. It's kind of a clamshell case, and it comes with this separate container, like you can put your lunch in, something you can put your drink in, or a lightsaber. It was really, really cool. Unfortunately, the zipper broke on this, but I don't have the heart to part with it. It's just such a cool piece. So it stays in the collection for now. So, of course, there were action figures. And I've actually unboxed most of them and put them in, like either in displays or on loose clamshell boxes themselves. But I kept a few of them. The 4 battle droids, the famous 4 battle droids. We had like clean, I think we had dirty, we had damaged, and then slashed, or I think one of them slashed. This might be slashed. This might be dirty. So, of course, then we had just some standard Destroyer Droid, Captain Panaka, Teeth C-14. I always liked that character because it was the first time I saw something familiar. You know, the first like 2 minutes of the movie, we don't really hear. It's all new music after the crawl. It was like just new stuff. There's C.O. Billet. It's unthinkable. And of course, we also have this is where this hologram projector, handheld projector came from, and they had figures where they could light up. Of course, like I said, I said the other one didn't have batteries, and it did, but this one, in fact, does not have batteries, but it's still pretty cool. I did keep a kind of a book of like souvenirs, but this is actually, these are, things about, new figures coming from, Star Wars Epic Force figures, which are not, of course, Episode 1 related, so I'm going to come back to those. But I do have a little article here, sneak peek at the films. Oh my God, when you think about all of the things that came out, it's crazy. And here we have Episode 1 kids meal from Taco Bell. These were all available at Taco Bell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Collect all 9. And imagine that there were a handful more like that. Like 9 at Kentucky Fried Chicken and 9 at Pizza Hut. They also had nice stickers like this. Here are the cups. You get these when you came in. Episode 1 Certificate of Authenticity. Why am I keeping that? I don't know. Destroyer Droid Yo-Yo instructions. I don't know. But these are just some of the cool things. Episode 1 free official color poster with the premiere event. KB Toys had one as well. And here are some... Oh, I remember, this was like a bag that one of the toys came in. Like a very thin bag. Here are some stickers. Oh, that's my daughter dressed in a stormtrooper. Here was the FAO Schwartz. How the windows looked. Again, not all of this will be, but these were all in FAO Schwartz. So again, everything was an event. It was a huge event. These are some displays that they put up. Oh, this is, I'll share this. This is a student of mine. I forget his name. I'm sorry if you watch the channel. It's been 25 years. So his dad was a cameraman for news organizations, and he went in to help him as a runner when they were doing kind of like the press junket for Episode 1. So he got to meet Jake Lloyd, George Lucas, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. So that was cool. This is just a bag that I think was either Taco Bell or Pizza Hut, or I can't remember which ones, but just all these cool things. Padme, paper doll. Ooh, General Cinema. Remember General Cinema? Older people will remember that. I mean, they just had so much. And some of these things I remember getting out of a gumball machine. You could actually go into gumball machines and pick some of this stuff up. Really, really crazy stuff. Darth Maul mask. I think it's like, they had those books, like Steve Sansweet, Lucasfilm came out with some of these books that were like, no, that's not an actual gift card. It's just the box with the gift card on it. Just showing all these cool things that they had, and I just wanted to have a memory of them. Goodie bag. These are some of the figures. I'm kind of glad because I got rid of a lot of the figures, but it's nice to... Oh, bookmarks. Wow, I'm glad I found this. This is great. Oh, Pogs. Remember Pogs? They were like little... That was a thing. Although I think by this time they were coming off of Pogs and were like not as popular. Okay. This. I remember this. This was my very first Episode 1 collectible. It came out about 3 months before in England. I was on a band trip. I was actually running my first, as a teacher, my first trip to Europe with my marching band and orchestra and choir as well. And I looked around, I saw the poster, that Anakin poster with Vader's shadow, but they had in, like, if you go into like the equivalent of like a convenience store, and they had a little freezer with lollipops, not lollipops, ice ice pops and ice cream novelties, they had a Battle Droid one. So I was like, what? So I bought one. Of course, I couldn't keep it. It's shaped like, it was like one of those 2 popsicle sticks that had like, you know, an ice pop. And the kind of thing you could break apart and share with somebody. But they were both Battle Droids. It was so cool. But sadly, I couldn't keep it from melting, nor did the store have the original mold. So I kept the package. Episode 1, Curad Band-Aids. There's the box. Oh my God. 25 years old. Here's that. Here's some of the cans. Some of the cans were color cans. Episode 1, fruit snacks. A lot of the stuff they still do. See, oh, there's more episode 1. Episode 1. I saw it a few times. Yes, I did. More fruit snacks. Some of these things I might have picked up. I was not able to go to the. Well, this is a Japanese. I did find a few things Japanese because they had a kind of a different setup, which I don't know if I have them anymore. I think I'll have to take a look. They had a whole different set of stuff. I'll see if I can find them and share them on this channel. Yeah, I did pick up a lot of, eBay was becoming really popular and I was able to purchase some things. Mug root beer it was everywhere, guys, everywhere. I mean, we sort of see some of this, but nothing to the level of, here's my Fan Day pass, June 19th, everywhere. I forget why I had that. Oh, this was, Sir Steve's Guide. It was one of the early websites. I don't know if he sent that to me. I forget why. I might have just made a print of it. This might have been Star Wars Celebration. And I didn't go to Star Wars Celebration, the first one. I went to the 3rd and 4th and 5th one. I think I went to the Celebration 3, 4, and 5, maybe 6. But I didn't go to 1, which was in Colorado, I think. Thank you for playing the Lay's Star Wars Can You Resist game. As a result of the overwhelming popularity of the game, the prize that you won is temporarily out of stock. We expect to ship your prize by the middle of November. I don't even remember what the prize was. I can't remember what I won there. Forget. Unless it was... No, that was different. Now, for some reason, I have a Hoth Wampa. That's not... I think that's not episode 1. But as you can see... Oh, here we go. You are the prize winner. Hi, dear winner. You are a prize winner of the Lay's Star Wars Can You Resist Instant Win game. Your prize is enclosed Star Wars Episode 1 collector poster. Oh, okay. Yeah, but just that's the bag the poster came in. It wasn't very big. But it was still nice to have won. I won. It's a major award. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, just a napkin? Can you resist? That was like something. All right, I think the rest of these are other stuff. So. And I even had some Lay's potato chip bags. They were all different. I wonder why, when I think of the amount of fast food and processed food and chips and sodas I ate and drank to purchase all this stuff, it's no wonder that I became a type 2 diabetic. But it's okay. I have it under control. I'm doing much better with it now. I've been exercising every day and I don't indulge in this kind of stuff anymore. Or at least not nearly as much as I did for the spring of 1999. I don't know why I kept, like, the doll things, too. There's the defeat the dark side and win. Doritos. Again, another Japanese. Meiji or whatever. I don't know how I got these. Yeah, I must have ordered them on eBay. Oh, these are tortilla chips. Oh, this was another... Oh, it's an AMT model. Like a transport. These are little models, yeah. Like I didn't have enough... Oh, these are the Action Fleet. Kind of glad I kept this because I got rid of most of those, but it's nice to have like a little representation of them. Lay's, another birthday balloon. Oh, I think we're into other things now. Yeah, these are... Oh! Ooh, come back to these later. Oh, but here we go. Oh. Yeah, that was a lot of Popular Mechanics. I did have a few magazines. Yep, there's a Phantom Menace Star Wars Insider. There's the official souvenir magazine. I kept those. And of course, every newspaper, this is my local one, the Star Ledger, every newspaper had a whole pull-out section. They all said the same thing, but... Oh yeah, there's my Battle Droid. This was DK Publishing. And they had these really cool life-size, but hard card stock. I mean, very hard, like basically cardboard, like corrugated almost, that you could fold and make into the Battle Droid. And they actually sold them. Sold them in a, you get them in a flat pack, then you can make it yourself. So that's what I did. There was a few. There was Battle Droid, Pit Droid, R2-D2, and Destroyer Droid. I think I got like 3 out of the 4. I didn't get R2, but I got 3 out of the 4. This must be, is this my poster? Let's see what we got here. This might be, I'm not sure. Pardon my, yeah? I think this might have been the Frito-Lay poster that I won. There's the Vulture Droids. Good shot. I like it. This poster around. A lot of folding posters here. I don't even know what this is, but it looks like something else. That's like a magnet thing. Yeah, so cool stuff. Here's that Battle Droid that I foretold. Now, granted, it's a little slouchy now. It's a 25-year-old piece of cardboard. Okay, they're not meant to last. But it did. I actually have I put a helmet on it, a funny helmet. So when I do that, it does bend his back thing, but it's fine. So there's a whole other one there. There were quite a few like 2-packs and multi-packs. Here's one that was actually, I think this might have only been available in Europe. It was a C3. It was different characters packed with Battle Droids, which I thought was genius, because for goodness sake, you want to build up your Battle Droid army, of course. Here's Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. Break apart Darth Maul. Ooh. There's a ton of episode 1 themed merchandise and toys. Like here's one, Vader versus Darth Maul. But that was actually Power of the Jedi. I'm only focusing on the things that came out during the episode 1 time frame. This was one of my favorites. It was a small racing set. You can see right there. And it had you can get different pod racers, and it kind of had an automatic, it wasn't like a racetrack, like a slot car racetrack, but you could take little, it had like an automatic wheel pusher, kind of a Hot Wheels thing. And they would, once you got it all the way around, it would go again, and there was chances for them to get mixed up. Yeah, it's pretty good. Bump into each other. It's fun. We have another one of those kind of this one wasn't a bank, this one was a clock. I don't have it working right now. It's kind of fallen apart a little bit, but this used to move back and forth again. Like, I think these things were just not meant to last. And then back there you can see a Phantom Menace. I think this was part of a movie display. I think I had the whole display at one point, but I just decided to keep the title. So yeah, lots of Phantom Menace stuff. Of course, here are all the loose figures that came out during the episode 1 time frame. And they all came with that Comtech chip, which had, you would put that over a sort of reader, and they would make, they would do sound effects, but they were very weird. It was like, the defector stream is too strong. Like you couldn't really hear it, and they sounded kind of very computery. So still, it's a cool technology for the time. Now, the episode 1 release was also right when the Lego partnership started up. So there are plenty of Lego that I did keep some of them. I collected a lot of Legos, and then I kind of backed off. But we have the Naboo fighter, we have the Naboo speeder there. These are from other years. We have down here, we have the sub. Okay, so yeah, there was some great pieces that this one came later. It's from episode 1, but it was released a lot later. But that was the beginning of a huge partnership. Now, these were a product of Japan, and I had to find these on eBay. Not all of them are episode 1 themed. In fact, some of them are episode 3 themed. And I'm not 100% sure if all of these came from from one thing. I think like these are obviously later ones, but you know, you got Boss Nass, Sebulba, Jar Jar. Over here you got Watto, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon. These were bottle caps for Pepsi bottles. Now I think they didn't come with them. You would like they would like be dangling in a back package off of the back. But yeah, there's Padme, a larger Padme, a battle droid. And then of course there's a few that from other movies, but yeah. I've not had the heart to part with these ones yet. And then you could actually get for each movie they had like I think they had a like kind of a display stand that you could do. But again, these are in Japan. You couldn't get them here. You had to order them on eBay essentially. What can one say about that? Here's another Jar Jar kind of. Ooh, his ears are. This one I think it came with a pit droid clock, and then I took his batteries out. But when you'd squeeze him, it'd say time is 3:47 or whatever it is. So kind of a cute thing. And then of course we have this little guy. This is another Japanese item. I think it's a Japanese item, maybe not, because it doesn't seem to have any. Now this could have been a mail away item. You basically put a can of soda in here, and then he could stick a straw through his head and then drink. So it was just this weird can of soda thing. Okay, for our last two, we're going to do some coolers. Some interesting and very rare and unique coolers. We're going to start with this one again from Japan. This was kind of what, I think it was an MMT cooler. And it was a kind of it was a cool cooler, but not necessarily an effective cooler. All right, you open up the thing here, it can lock up, and then you would pull these out, and you get all of your little can toppers, similar to the one I just showed you, but these you fit the can in. So basically, it had a ice pack here, right? And you leave that kind of tucked in the back, and then you would have your droids come out, just like and that's how you would, and it came with straws and everything. I mean, it was, I love how they even included one captain. I just thought it was the coolest concept, but at the same time, I was like, it's a really, really big item here to basically hold 10 cans of soda. So, but again, it came from Japan. Was not something that you could easily get. People were selling it for like $500 on eBay. I was able to find it much cheaper than that after the hype had died down. But let's talk about this one. This is what I have said. If you've watched the channel, if you've been on the channel a few times, you will know that this is my favorite collectible of all time. Okay? This is an R2-D2 cooler. Very, very basic. Open it up. Got your cooler inside. Now, unlike this one, this is a very effective and functioning cooler. Okay? So, story behind it. And I think I've told it before on the channel, but it's worth repeating. So, my wife used to work for AT&T. And in AT&T corporate, there was a place where she worked. They had like a grill room, a place you could go for lunch, like a cafeteria. And most people would just go and bring their own lunch. But they had a grill room there, and you can order food as well, kind of like a regular, almost like a school cafeteria. Well, this grill room was sponsored by Pepsi. So, about a month or two before the episode 1 coming out, there was a huge advertising promotional campaign. And I mentioned that earlier, and how there were all sorts of different things. I showed you the inflatable Pepsi cans. Well, this place had tons of those. It had cardboard, stand-up cutouts with all of the characters, full life-size. They had a little Pepsi logo on the bottom, but they were essentially life-size cutouts. And standing kind of on the throne in the center of it was this guy. This was not something you could buy in stores, okay? It was a promotional item that you could win in contests like this. All across the country, they would have, grill rooms and places like this that would have like raffles. So my wife went every day from the time it started for like 2-3 weeks, would order a grill piece, a grilled sandwich or something, and then take the raffle ticket and put it right in there and for the raffle. Because they were auctioning off everything, the cutouts, the inflatable cans, everything. And when we got to the day of the raffle, I called her up. I said, so, anything? And she said, no, sorry, didn't happen. And I thought, okay, that was fine. I appreciate you trying. And that was it. And that was all. That was the last I thought of it. And that night, I'm home. She gets home from work. She comes in the house and she says, well, you better check the car. There's a weird sound coming from the trunk. So I'm like, uh-oh. And I'm already thinking, oh, great, I got to get the car, take it to the place to get fixed. And so I walk out and I open up the trunk of the car, and there he is in all of his glory. And she taped a little note, says beep boop on it. And I was like, oh, it's making noise. Oh, I get it. Okay. So I was thrilled, and what a great gift, and what an awesome wife for even, trying to win it. So, so I appreciate, she did put a lot in there. So I think she cut the odds considerably in her, to make it in her favor. But I do always appreciate it. So it's my favorite collectible. And that same summer, I brought it with us. We were doing a Star Wars themed show. It was very hot at the time, so we figured let's do a Star Wars themed show for our marching band. So my wife and I were both working with the band in my high school that I work at. I brought this, filled it with one bag of ice on Monday. That bag of ice hardly melted in 5 days. It's a great cooler. So if you find one, use it. It's a good cooler. All right. It's a little awkward, but it's a great cooler. So that is just scratching the surface, even of my own collection of things that I've come across that are episode 1 themed. All right. But I mean, this pales in comparison to what I got rid of. I got rid of so much stuff over the years. I collected all of those figurehead drinks. I collected popcorn buckets. I collected Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets. They had Frisbees at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I collected everything. And I kept a lot of the small stuff, like you said, like the ephemera, the stickers and the cards and things like that, because they don't take up much room. And of course this and a few of my toys. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff ended up getting sold off. And that's only, and in what I collected, only a tiny drop in the ocean that is what they released. So it's amazing. So happy 25th anniversary to the Phantom Menace. Planning on going to see it in the re-release if it's playing near my area. It is great to see in the film, in the movies. So I recommend you do the same. And thanks so much for watching. Check out all the other content on Red 5. Thank you, Red 5, for always supporting the channel. And check out all my other content. And until next time, folks, may the Force and the toys be with you. And happy 25th anniversary to Phantom Menace.